Section 9 of English Synonyms and Antonyms. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. English Synonyms and Antonyms by James Champlin Fernald. Appendage to artist. Appendage. Synonyms: accessory, accompaniment, addendum, addition, adjunct, appendix, appurtenance, attachment, auxiliary, concomitant, extension, supplement. An adjunct, something joined to, constitutes no real part of the thing or system to which it is joined. Though perhaps a valuable addition, an appendage is commonly a real, though not an essential or necessary part of that with which it is connected. An appurtenance belongs subordinately to something by which it is employed, especially as an instrument to accomplish some purpose. A horse's tail is at once an ornamental appendage and a useful appurtenance. We could not call it an adjunct, though we might use that word of his iron shoes. An attachment in machinery is some mechanism that can be brought into optional connection with the principal movement. A hammer is a valuable attachment of a sewing machine. An extension, as of a railroad or of a franchise, carries out further something already existing. We add an appendix to a book to contain names, dates, lists, etc., which would encumber the text. We add a supplement to supply omissions, as, for instance, to bring it up to date. An appendix may be called an addendum, but addendum may be used of a brief note, which would not be dignified by the name of appendix. Such notes are often grouped as addenda. An addition might be matter interwoven in the body of the work, an index, plates, editorial notes, etc., which might be valuable additions, but not within the meaning of appendix or supplement. Compare accessory, auxiliary. Antonyms: main body, original, total, whole. Prepositions: that which is thought of as added we call an appendage to. That which is looked upon as an integral part is called an appendage of. Appetite. Synonyms: appetency, craving, desire, disposition, impulse, inclination, liking, longing, lust, passion, proclivity, proneness, propensity, relish, thirst, zest. Appetite is used only of the demands of the physical system unless otherwise expressly stated, as when we say an appetite for knowledge. Passion includes all excitable impulses of our nature, as anger, fear, love, hatred, etc. Appetite is thus more animal than passion, and when we speak of passions and appetites as conjoined or contrasted, we think of the appetites as wholly physical, and of the passions as, in part at least, mental or spiritual. We say an appetite for food, a passion for fame. Compare desire. Antonyms: antipathy, aversion, detestation, disgust, dislike, disrelish, distaste, hatred, indifference, loathing, repugnance, repulsion. Compare antipathy. Preposition: he had an insatiable appetite for the marvellous. Apportion. Synonyms: allot, appoint, appropriate, assign, deal, dispense, distribute, divide, grant, share. To allot or assign may be to make an arbitrary division. The same is true of distribute or divide. That which is apportioned is given by some fixed rule, which is meant to be uniform and fair, as representatives are apportioned among the states according to population. To dispense is to give out freely, as the sun dispenses light and heat. A thing is appropriated to or for a specific purpose, to which it thus becomes proper in the original sense of being its own. Money appropriated by Congress for one purpose cannot be expended for any other. One may apportion what he only holds in trust. he shares what is his own. Compare allot. Antonyms: cling to, collect, consolidate, divide arbitrarily, gather together, keep together, receive, retain. Prepositions: apportion to each a fair amount, apportion the property among the heirs, between two claimants, apportion according to numbers, etc. Approximation. Synonyms: approach, contiguity, likeness, nearness, neighbourhood, propinquity, resemblance, similarity. In mathematics, approximation is not guesswork, not looseness, and not error. The process of approximation is as exact and correct as every point as that by which an absolute result is secured. The result only fails of exactness because of some inherent difficulty in the problem. The attempt to square the circle gives only an approximate result, because of the impossibility of expressing the circumference in terms of the radius. But the limits of error on either side are known, and the approximation has practical value. Outside of mathematics, the correct use of approximation, and the kindred words approximate and approximately, is to express as near an approach to accuracy and certainty as the conditions of human thought or action in any given case make possible. Resemblance and similarity may be but superficial and apparent. Approximation is real. Approach is a relative term, indicating that one has come nearer than before, though the distance may yet be considerable. An approximation brings one really near. Nearness, neighbourhood, and propinquity are commonly used of place. Approximation, of mathematical calculations and abstract reasoning. We speak of approach to the shore, nearness to the town, approximation to the truth. Antonyms: difference, distance, error, remoteness, unlikeness, variation. Prepositions: the approximation of the vegetable to the animal type. Arms. Synonyms: accoutrements, armour, harness, mail, weapons. Arms are implements of attack. Armour is a defensive covering. The knight put on his armour, he grasped his arms. With the disuse of defensive armour, the word has practically gone out of military use, but it is still employed in the navy, where the distinction is clearly preserved. Any vessel provided with cannon is an armed vessel. An armoured ship is an ironclad. Anything that can be wielded in fight may become a weapon, as a pitchfork or a paving stone. Arms are especially made and designed for conflict. Army. Synonyms: armament, array, force, forces, host, legions, military, multitude, phalanx, soldiers, soldiery, troops. An army is an organized body of men armed for war, ordinarily considerable in numbers, always independent in organization so far as not to be a constituent part of any other command. Organization, unity, and independence, rather than numbers, are the essentials of an army. We speak of the invading army of Cortes or Pizarro, though either body was contemptible in numbers from a modern military standpoint. We may have a little army, a large army, or a vast army. Host is used for any vast and orderly assemblage, as the stars are called the heavenly host. Multitude expresses number without order or organization. A multitude of armed men is not an army, but a mob. Legion, from the Latin, and phalanx, from the Greek, are applied by a kind of poetic license to modern forces. The plural legions is preferred to the singular. Military is a general word for land forces. The military may include all the armed soldiery of a nation, or the term may be applied to any small detached company, as at a fort, in distinction from civilians. Any organized body of men by whom the law or will of a people is executed is a force. The word is a usual term for the police of any locality. Arraign. Synonyms: accuse, censure, charge, cite, impeach, indict, prosecute, summon. Arraign is an official word. A person